Welcome back to BSR TV. We are at Road America for round number 12 of the BSR Touring Car Championship presented by Engine Oil Direct. Andrew Woodhouse joining you again for this one, and Adam Bath is with me in the commentary box. Adam, good race in race 2, and it's thrown up a surprise grid for this one.
Yes, on pole position we've got an unknown, Stefano Giuriali. He will be on pole position for this third race, and alongside him will be Tim Mawson. Race 3, it's usually the most exciting of the three, and I think we are going to see quite some action with the likes of Rushworth, Savidovic, Hoog down the back end of that reverse grid. And
by most exciting, he means lacking in driving standards.
Of course.
40 car grid though, I mean, it's going to be really exciting. I think we've got the championship contenders in there. They're lurking around the outside edges of the top 20, so it's going to be interesting to see what they can do. Just going to the standings at the moment, and after that race, saw Stefan Hoog just close the gap a slight amount by 5 points to Wojciech Swiderowicz, who's leading the standings for Apex Racing TV. 5 points he took out of him there, and Andreas Katz and Jamie Rushworth just dropping a little bit behind now. 90 and 150 points respectively. Adam is fair distance at this point.
Yes, and the fact that Ashley Sutton's not racing this evening has allowed Jamie Rushworth to go up to 4th place in the standings, 150 points behind. He'll be ruining those opening 2 race meetings at Silverstone and Virginia, where he ended up finishing 16th in the standings by the end of that evening. So he's working his way slowly back up, and we're not even at the halfway point in the standings yet, in the series yet, so don't count Rushworth out just yet. But as you say, Savidovic and Hoog, they are the main title contenders at the moment.
Yeah.
The fact that Ben Gregory in 10th place, he is the highest of the Pro-Am drivers. He's definitely doing a good job mixing it with the pro drivers.
Yeah, it definitely is for Timo, and that's with getting taken out of race 2 here today. So he's obviously going to try really hard to maintain that top 10 position in the championship, and he has a good team around him, doesn't he? Stefan Hoog and David Baker being his teammates, and also Jeroen Kaiser. He's got some fast drivers to contend with there.
Yeah, he's definitely got a good team around him, because as you'll see in the teams championship, which should be displayed soon, Team O have definitely got a huge advantage over the likes of CQR and Elite 220, and that's because they're the most consistent team. They've got their drivers competing every single race, and that's why they've got around about 400-point lead. In the Pro-Am driver standings, Ben Gregory, he's 155 points ahead of the Lugnuts Racing entry of Matt Walker, with Robert Graham in 3rd, Steve Hefferton 4th, and Aaron Gearing in 5th. So the Pro-Am standings aren't necessarily as close as the driver standings, but it's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, and Simon Field, who took victory in race 2, and he's now up into 5th place in the Drivers' Championship. He's overtaken Russell Laidler, so Field is definitely on the way forward. Daniel Kraft for Engine Oil Direct as well, up in 8th place. Now Linus Brostrom dropping down to 9th today, having had a very average meeting here today.
Yes, and as you were saying about Russell Laidler dropping down a place, that was an absolute shocker for Laidler. He was up near the front of the grid for race 2 and ended up having an incident with Christiansen, getting T-boned in fact, going into the left-hander. So a poor race for Russell Laidler. And as you were saying about Bostrom, he did start off the season quite well, but the Lugnuts Racing entry is definitely dropping down those. Only 3 points behind Dan Kraft, so in this final race we'll see if he's able to get that point difference back up there.
Even though Laidler's been involved in quite a few incidents this season, that was definitely not his fault, and yeah, it really crippled him there in that race. So 2 privateers sharing the front row, Giuriali and Mawson. Scott Malcolm, 2 AM drivers on row 2. It's Scott Malcolm for Lazy Tools and Steve Walker for DEG. Laura Bond and Jeroen Kaiser are the highest pro drivers in 5th and 6th. Aaron Gearing is 7th for Lugnuts Racing. Dan Kraft is 8th. Jamie Rushworth in 9th. He's the highest of the championship contenders there. Let's see what he can do. Graham Carroll in 10th for Apex Racing TV. David Baker in 11th, Andreas Katz 12th, Robert Plumley 13th, Wojciech Swiderowicz, championship leader in 14th, and his rival in 2nd in the championship, Stefan Hoog, 15th position for him. Race 2 winner Simon Field is in 16th place ahead of Adam Terry, who went from 40th to 17th in race 2. Let's see what he can do here. Ellis Stevens 19th after a spin on the 18th after a spin on the final lap of race 2. Niels Jordan 19th, great race from him in the Karcher car, the AM driver, and Robert Burton in 20th. Boys, bring Alex in as well. Have you got a tip for this race?
I'm not entirely sure who's going to get this one. This could be really, really tricky.
Adam, since you're not one to sit on the fence, who are you going for?
I'm going to put one out there and go for Laura Bond to get race 3 victory. And if that doesn't and if I want to go for a long shot, I might say Jamie Rushworth. But it all depends. We saw a huge incident in race 3 at Suzuka last week. Will we see the same here? It's a bit wider though.
There's a chance.
Yeah.
If somebody gets spun round on the main straight, we could have some trouble.
Yeah, we saw last season, in season 5, in race 2, I believe, there was a crash on the start line, and that ended up bringing out a safety car. So safety cars could change the outlook of this race.
My money's on your own Kaiser for this one, but we're going to see how the two men on the front row do. So it's
you got good money on that.
Sorry,
you got good money on Jerome Kaiser. Jerome Kaiser won race 3 last season, so
he also won race 3 at Silverstone. So he's got some previous even in this championship. So Stefano Giuriali, we're waiting for him to take his position on the front row. There he is as the privateer entry. Tim Mawson alongside him. 2 privateers sharing the front row. 2 AM drivers on row 2. Race 3 is going to commence any second now. And Road America's going to rock with the sound of these Kias. The red lights are on. And the green light is on. Good start from Giuriali. Mawson also. The left-hand side of the grid seems to get away slightly stronger. Look at that DEG car from row 2 of Steve Walker. He's flying, but he's got nowhere to go. Giuriali leads. And you can see Scott Malcolm looks like he's up the inside into second place.
Yes, he is. A good start by the Laser Tools car.
Brilliant start by Giuriali. Look at him. Look at the lead he has.
Yeah, he is away, and Tim Mawson having a look back down the inside though into turn 2, and look at the DG car on the outside. They're all hard on the brakes. Everyone clean so far. Out onto the back straight, and Giuriali is gone.
Good late braking by Scott Malcolm there in order to ward off the advance of Tim Mawson. I think he's been pretty careful being the privateer here and also not being in the championship fight, but Scott Malcolm is into second place. Mawson having to defend on the inside, and look at that. The DEG car, oh no, Ron Kaiser hits Mawson. He kind of pushed him round the corner more than anything else. Didn't really hurt the Englishman there.
He got a bit of help from Jamie Rushworth, but right into the back of him into the left-hander. Rushworth up in 6th place, so he's gained 2 spots. Laura Bond might have helped him there by letting him through, but Jamie Rushworth up into 6th place. This will be good for his championship as we head through the right-hander and down towards the carousel for the first time. Dan
Craft's got ahead of Laura as well. Graham Carroll just behind for Apex Racing TV. Carroll having a look up the inside on the Elite 220 car of Laura Bond. Now, Wojciech Sredovic is side by side with Aaron Gearing. He's already got ahead of Stefan Hug. That's really important for the championship. There's a bit of contact in the carousel with Gearing and Sredovic. Sredovic bashing his way through as they go through that long right-hander towards the bend.
Yes, and as we head through the bend, we've seen so far tonight that you can't really go too wide, so everyone trying to make it go through single file out onto the straight towards Canada Corner. Kaiser is having a look on one of the Elite 220 cars. It's Tim Mawson, in fact.
Yep, sorry Adam, just finding the position on the track. So much going on. I was looking a bit further down the order. Yeah, you're on Kaiser in 3rd place, having a little look. So it's 4th place for Kaiser, isn't it? As we still haven't completed lap 1 yet, since I've been racing for a few minutes already, so quite a bit's gone on. As Giuriali leads, and he's looking really impressive.
Rushworth just went flying into the back.
As off goes Malcolm. So Malcolm going very, very wide, and this could allow Tim Mawson to get up into 2nd place. Go on, Tim.
Here he goes, over the top of the hill and over the timing line to complete lap number 1. I was just about to say that Rushworth went into the back of the DG car.
Malcolm trying to squeeze Kaiser against the pit wall there.
Kaiser down the inside of the Laser Tools car. Will he go?
Is he going to have a look at Mawson as well? And Malcolm, good save by Scott there.
And Rushworth.
He's in the gravel, but it could have been so much worse for him.
Yeah, and he was joined in the gravel there by Jamie Rushworth, and that's definitely going to allow the Engine All Direct car, I think, of Dan Craft to go down the inside of both of them into turn 2.
Kind of balked Rushworth a little bit. As you can see, his teammate Laura Bond just behind. Bond didn't make a very good start, but she sort of stabilised her position. As you can see, the Apex Racing TV cars now sandwiching Andreas Katz down the back straight, and Stefan Hug is there.
Yes, let's see what will happen into the left-hander.
Something's going to go wrong here.
Yeah, the Apex Racing TV car defends.
Hoog's on the grass, and can he control it down into the left-hander? He does, just about, and the Swiss nearly having a big moment.
Yeah, somehow they all managed to stop the cars.
Side by side, Adams, Carroll up the inside of Bond.
Yeah, Bond down to 9th, Carroll up into 8th place. It's all happening here in the first few laps. And look at the Elite 220 car in front. That's Jamie Rushworth in 7th position, trying to get past the 6th place car, Scott Malcolm into the left-hander.
Yeah, Malcolm in that Laser Tools car. Nice livery with the Saltaire there on the Scottish flag. And see there, the Rushworth almost pushing him around the corner.
Yeah, Rushworth should definitely try and have a go down into the bend. We're on lap 2 here. Will he have a go?
Malcolm's got the inside for the bend, and he brakes very late, actually, Malcolm. Nice stuff there from him. He's managed to maintain his position.
Good thinking by Rushworth as well.
Just behind, you've got Baker trying to go around the outside of... Oh, and there's a bit of a crash there as Gearing, I think, turns Simon Field, race 2 winner. Field keeps it on. He actually rejoins the kink section, which saved him.
Yeah, it's all going a bit hairy there. 3 abreast as well as we head down into Canada Corner. Don't know how it's all going to end up, and I think I'm looking at Jamie Rushworth because he's now alongside Scott Malcolm as they head side by side into the left-hander. Will Rushworth try and swing it around the outside? Will he get the move done? He's off.
He's off the track again, and we saw that in race 2, didn't it? Exactly the same thing happened to Jamie there.
And look who it's allowed through. Graham Carroll's through now as well in the Apex Racing TV car.
Hoog side by side with Sredovic as well. Oh, well, he was. And now you've got Laura Bond coming under pressure from... Bond's got some aero damage, and Andreas Katz going up the inside. And now you can see Sredovic and Hoog and Aaron Gearing's there as well, the AM driver for Lugnuts Racing. As Malcolm trying to defend from Carroll, but he can't keep him behind.
Yes, Graham Carroll managed to get past the Laser Tools car, but the Laser Tools car, Scott Malcolm, doesn't look set on staying there for long. He's going to try and go around the outside and look at Rushworth down the inside. He'll try to capitalise on it. He hits the Laser Tools car. Carroll.
And
Rushworth just makes it through though, and here comes Katz.
That could cause all sorts of problems as Katz was on the grass there, and well, Carroll's managed to escape, and you see this train here: Rushworth, Katz, Sredovic, Malcolm, Hoog, Bond, and Gearing.
Sredovic hanging out around the outside. That might be dangerous. We'll see if the Laser Tools car can stop the car.
Katz
down
is
the
very late on
inside.
the brakes. He's too late, is he? No, he just stops at carbon discs, really glowing there. They're on fire almost. He's braking with such ferocity into that. Oh, there's Malcolm and was it Stefan Hoog?
Yes, I think you're right there, Andrew. And oh, he hits his teammate. Malcolm hits his teammate.
In the air goes Malcolm, and he hits Ben Gregory as well. I think Gregory got away with no damage. Just a lag contact for him, I think. As and off goes and the other Laser Tools car. Robert Graham, and is that Gearing? And it's Linus Broström.
Oh, Bostrom's evening goes from bad to worse.
Horrible 30 seconds for Laser Tools there.
And not good for Lugnuts either, so...
And Richardson up the inside of Baker around the carousel, so Steve Richardson having a good run in the eBay car.
Yes, and right behind him, David Baker. David Baker, Mr. Consistent in qualifying. Down into the bend, Baker looks down the inside. Will he be able to get it done?
Very late on the brakes. Baker sandwiched a little bit behind Broström there, wasn't he? Broström just tapping the Karcher car there. Who was that? It was the other Karcher car.
21st place, that will be
Niels Jordan, isn't it?
Yeah, Niels Jordan, yeah, you're right. Let's see what will happen as we head into Canada Corner. Will he stay ahead? There's going to be contact surely, yeah. And
no, they all behave themselves just about.
Yeah, they hit a few bits of body contact, but I think they managed to get through there. That's touring car racing. And look at the David Baker. David Baker's through.
Baker carried a lot of speed through Canada, didn't he, Adam?
Yeah, and that means he's managed to get past Niels Jordan. So what a great job there by Niels Jordan in the Karcher car. We're coming around to complete another lap. I'm focusing on the battle here for 14th place between not Ellis Stevens, battle for 12th place between the Elite 220 car. I think that's
Laura, isn't it?
Yeah, Laura Bond, and the CQR car in 13th place of Robert Plumley. Let's see. Laura Bond goes a bit wide through turn 1. Will Plumley be able to get a move done down into turn 2? He's having a look, and Ellis Stevens having a look behind him as well.
David Baker came over the line for after lap 2 in 26th place. He's now 19th, so 7 places gained for David Baker on that lap. Really good stuff. Meanwhile, Stefano Giuriali's absolutely gone. 3.2 seconds he leads by. It's a terrific performance from someone, I'll be honest, I'd never heard of him before tonight.
Yeah, neither had I. And in the lower half of the top 10, we're seeing a battle unfold here between Andreas Katz in 8th and Wojciech Savidovic in 9th. So 2 of the championship contenders here going at it. We've got 5 laps to go here. Will the Apex Racing TV car be able to get the move done as we head through the right-hander and down towards the carousel?
Well, one thing we know about Andreas Katz is he's not going to be easy to overtake, even for the championship leader, Wojciech Savidovic. And towards the carousel. Speaking of which, you see up there is Daniel Kraft defending his 4th position against Steve Walker, having to go very defensive into the carousel, and that's going to allow Graham Carroll to close right up to these guys now. As towards the bend, let's see who can break the latest. It's actually Walker.
Steve Walker tried to go around the outside into the carousel. I've never seen that work. So he tried to get the cut back, and that didn't work either. He's still in 5th place and will try to get the slipstream, but look who's behind him in 6th position. That is Graham Carroll. Will he get a slipstream?
As well.
Yeah,
Rushworth at 3rd in the championship is now in 4th in the championship is now P7 in this race.
Will Rushworth tried to benefit from this. Look how late on the brakes they all are. I'm sure they were going to run wide there, and so does Kraft. Kraft runs a bit wide, and that will allow the DEG car through. He'll go. Steve Walker will try and go around the outside of the edge.
Tough place to go too wide, and they hit each other. Walker does really well to save it, but that causes a bit of a log jam. And everybody manages to make it through safely. That's good driving by the guys behind to read and react to that situation.
God, I was holding my breath then. That was really stressful as we head up the hill. 4 laps to go. We're only at half distance.
Walker's got really good pace in this race, but he looks like he's just getting battered a little bit by these guys.
And look at Jamie Rushworth. He's coming under pressure from Katz and Savidovic. This is not what the Season 4 champion wanted. He wanted to try and get some points on this trio as we head through the first corner.
A bit wide, and he's lost a couple of positions there. He might lose all of them, actually. Yeah, he's now down to been shuffled to the back of this pack, Steve Walker. So down to 8th and 9th place.
Rushworth is right on the back of Carroll. Dan Kraft has used this opportunity to get away from this pack as we head down the back straight once again. Rushworth in 6th place, Carroll in 5th.
Carroll's going to have to stay to the inside, isn't he, here?
Yeah, he is, and let's see if he will. He just moves over now, but I think he knows that Look at Katz. Katz down the inside. Is he going to get it done? Rushworth's going to go down the inside of Carroll. They're going to go side by side. Carroll goes wide. Rushworth's got the inside line. I think he's going to get the move done. Will Katz try to get the move done as well? Up to the top of the hill. Rushworth doesn't get it done. He stays behind Graham Carroll, and that means he remains in his 6th position. But look how close this pack is.
As Katz gets very sideways, has a little bit of a moment coming out of that fast right-hander down towards the slow left-hander before the carousel. The carousel's a punishing corner on the outside tyre, and you've got to be careful in these touring cars as well. Front-wheel drive, although I think the saving grace may be that they only have to go through it 8 times, Adam.
Yeah, only 8 laps due to the long nature of the circuit, and Jamie Rushworth right to the back of him. I don't know how this is going to play out. Hopefully it doesn't end up in one of the cars ending up having terminal damage. Through the bend once again. Rushworth, I don't know if he's close enough to try and use the slipstream. One of the cars going through the gravel there, I think that was Steve Walker in the DEG car. As we head down towards Canada, they're all line astern. Katz looks the closest to try and get a move done on Jamie Rushworth. Will he have a go down into Canada? Hard on the brakes. I don't think it's going to work though. Savidovic though, biding his time. He doesn't need to do anything rash. He is leading the point standings after all by quite a bit over Stefan Hug, who is languishing down the order. He's down in 33rd position. So not a good job there for Stefan Hug. This will surely allow Savidovic to pull away in the standings.
Just how difficult is it, Adam, in this situation to focus on your own lines when there's so many cars in this group?
Yeah, and in fact, how hard is it to focus on your own braking? I think I've seen so far tonight a few cars follow each other off in sympathy as Dan Kraft is now under immense pressure. He's having to defend the inside line. Here comes Carroll though. Will Carroll try to go around the outside? Will Rushworth try and go down the inside?
Carroll braking very late, and that's fantastic from Graham Carroll.
Yes, we were speaking about it at the beginning.
He's gone wide though, it's not so fantastic anymore.
We were speaking at the beginning whether the cars could go around the outside into turn 1, and we saw it happen there, but no,
he's fighting hard, and off goes Kraft
into the barriers, and that's his opportunity of a top 5 finish over. But here comes Katz.
Heavy contact there for Kraft.
Here comes Katz.
And I think Carroll was trying to be a little bit too stubborn, wasn't he? After running wide, maybe he should have just thought about it, set himself up for a move down into turn 3, and now he's under pressure.
Yeah,
Andreas Katz for Karcher.
He was trying to muscle his way back on, wasn't he?
Oh, and there's a bit of contact with his teammate Suridovic pushing him through, and both the Apex Racing TV cars have got through there.
Unbelievable.
And I think Wojciech, is he going to... Oh, look at Katz, he's muscled past Wojciech. Wojciech goes very sideways. And Rushworth's off onto the grass again.
Rushworth is the major loser out of all of this. He was in front of all of his championship contenders, and now he's behind all of them. Unbelievable.
And look at the DEG cars, Steve Walker and Adam Terry. Terry had a terrible first race. Oh, and sideways goes Walker, and he very nearly took out Rushworth. Brilliant anticipation by both guys almost to avoid that incident.
Yeah, we saw a similar situation happen in race 2 with Russell Layla getting T-boned by Michael Christiansen into that corner. Rushworth just managed to hold on. Steve Walker in 8th place is now coming under pressure from 9th place driver, 10th place driver Aaron Gearing.
Suridovic up to what I believe is 6th position now, 5th, it'll be 5th position actually now, and Carroll up into 4th. So these guys really fighting hard for the big points. Yuri Ali is 4 seconds ahead of Tim Mawson. Very impressive by Stefano here, as Tim Mawson though coming under a little bit of pressure. Well, he was coming under pressure from Kaiser, and actually Kaiser has managed to get through on this very lap. So Jeroen up into 2nd place. Has he got time to catch Yuri Ali?
Sadly not. I think 4.5 seconds is too much. As we see there, that's one of the... is that Savidovic going wide? Yes, it is. Savidovic goes through the grass, and that means that Katz is going to go and try around the outside. Slight
nudge with Andreas Katz there, the Karcher car, and look at Graham Carroll. He's trying to... Oh no, it's Suridovic, isn't he? He's managed to get ahead of Carroll. It was Carroll going off.
Yes, you're right there, Andrew. Yes, Savidovic up into 4th. We were all going mad there for a second, thinking he was the championship leader.
I only just noticed the car number as they came across the line. And down into turn 1 is Graham Carroll going to have a look. He's very late on the brakes. We've seen that. Side by side behind them, it's one of the Lugnuts cars. It's Aaron Gearing and Steve Walker. So Walker dropping back a little bit quickly here.
Yeah, I don't know where to focus on at the moment because there's an interesting battle brewing for 2nd place between Kaiser and Mawson, or is that Kaiser just getting past Mawson?
Kaiser just got past Mawson, but I don't think Tim's done quite yet. He gets a big slipstream down towards 3. Don't think he's close enough to make a move on the Dutchman, and I think, to be honest, if he's smart, he'll just stay there and he'll try and get on the podium here. Because if you remember, at the last race that he started at the front of Virginia, he was involved in contact and he dropped back late on with damage. So I think Tim, knowing him, he'll just want to stay there and pick up a good result.
Okay, so Jamie Rushworth's now in 7th place. He finished 8th in race 2. And now he's 7th in race 3. So the Elite 220 cars having a consistent finishes. However, his championship rivals, the likes of Savidovic, Katz, they're finishing ahead of him in all of the races. We can see Savidovic there up in 4th place. He's now coming under pressure from Katz with Carroll right behind. Can Katz get it done?
Stefan Hoog's crawling around in the 228s after being involved in contact. He's down in 33rd position at the moment. So not a very good day for Stefan Hoog. Let's see who else is... having a good run. Have a look. Russell Laidler starting 39th. He didn't manage to get a good run out of that either. Most of the guys at the back bit the dust in those early stages, and well, we've had several retirements, 5-6 of them.
Yeah, and including Dan Kraft. After hitting the barrier, he is out of the race.
He's actually still, well, yeah, he is out of the race now actually, but still ahead of Stefan Hoog. So I wonder if Hoog must be more than a couple of laps down there.
Yes, and if you're a couple of laps down, I think it's 2 laps down, you automatically get 0 points. So Stefan Hoog will be losing massively to Savidovic, who's currently up in 4th place. Harry might not be there for long.
In fact, I think he's only 1 lap behind the leader, is Hoog actually, so I think he's going to get away with it and score some points. A good strategy by him to carry on. Only an 8-lap race, he's not going to lose that much time to be lapped twice as Savidovic now. Going towards the pit wall, having to defend from Andreas Katz.
Blimey, it's the last lap. Where's the time gone? As Katz tries to look down the inside of Savidovic. Savidovic knew that Katz would not be able to get past him there into turn 1. Can Katz line him up down the back straight? We're about to see as we head into turn 2. Savidovic keeps... Oh, Katz has a look, but nearly pulls it off, but thinks better of it. Will he get a toe down the back straight though?
Tom Stanley is rubbing panels with Ben Gregory through turn 1 nearly, as we see Gregory, the leading man in the ES Trophy. He's going down the inside into turn 2. That's going to be a brave one. He gets a couple of wheels on the grass. Got his teammate David Baker behind. Baker's one of the championship contenders though. He's up in the top 10, so we'll see if he can just make it through, see how far he can get. Top 10 Yep.
Sorry, Savidovic goes too deep into the left-hander at the end of the straight and is now under increasing pressure. He goes wide through the left-hander at the top of the hill. This is going to allow Katz to get right with him through the right-hander. Can he have a go down into the left-hander before the carousel?
Seeing what Andreas has done so far in the championship, you wouldn't bet against him having a little lunge on Savidovic here. Wojciech needs the championship points, but so does Katz, I suppose. Third for him. And any of these guys are going to have a chance to fully maximise the advantage they've gained by Ashley Sutton not appearing today. They'll have to do it now.
Can Katz get it done though as we head into the bend? He's definitely not going to pull off the move there. As we can see, Savidovic 4th, in 5th place Katz, 6th Carroll, 7th Jamie Rushworth, 8th Adam Terry, but out front Stefano Giuriali, he's run off and hid throughout the entire race. He's got a 4.2 second lead and he's going to get his first ever win in the Engine Oils Direct Touring Car Series.
I'm going to be perfectly honest. I could have picked 20 drivers to win in front of Stefano Giuriali, and he's done a fantastic job. He's been brilliant so far in this race. I hope he gets the win, which I think he's going to as he's coming around the final corner anytime soon. Here he is. So Stefano Giuriali, he was a reserve driver. He wasn't even supposed to be racing tonight. It's his first race meeting of the season, and Stefano Giuriali wins the third race of the day at Road America. That is unbelievably good.
Yes, and the second time a privateer has won. We saw Adeko Lopez filling in for Team O. He won race 1 at Suzuka, so a great job by Giuriali.
Well done, Tyrone Kaiser, second place as well. So from 34th to 2nd in just 2 races for your own. Then Tim Mawson 3rd, then Wojciech Savidovic in 4th. Ahead of Andreas Katz, then he had Graham Carroll in P6, Rushworth in 7th, Terry in 8th, then Gearing and Field, Walker, then Plumley was 12th, Laura Bond was 13th. That's a better result for her. That might get her towards the top 10 again. Ellis Stevens 14th. Elite 220 needs some luck, and he's got a bit today. He's got some better results. David Baker E15, Tom Stanley 16th, then Linus Broström in 17th, Richard Wilde 18th. Ben Gregory 19th, 20th for Matt Walker, Nils Jordan 21st, and Eckhart Van Glan, that's probably his best result of the season actually. Robert Burton in 23rd, Don Roberts 24th, then Robert Graham for Laser Tools, Andrew Whitehead in 26th, Peter Van Gool in 27th, Robert Fagg 28th, Stefan Hoog 29th. He will be classified, I believe, as he is. Yes, he's on the final lap, so I think he was. Yeah, I think he was just. I think he was on the lead lap.
Yeah,
actually.
he was just on the lead lap.
So 2 minutes and 16 behind. So he'll definitely get the points for 29th place. That could be important, Adam. Just a few points for him. Steve Richardson 30th, Malensky in 31st, then Daniel Kraft hard contact, and he finished 2 laps down. David Brock 33rd, Scott Malcolm 34th. Russell Laidler retired. Also did Daniel Hunt, Halit Ertas, Martin Christensen, and Gordon Wilson. So. Adam, that was a poor race for Stefan Hoog. He'll still get some points, but brilliant race from the top 3. I don't think anybody would have picked that finishing order.
No, just as in race 2, the top drivers rose to the top of the order by the end. Savidovic 4th, Katz 5th, Rushworth 7th, so a great show by them. I don't know whether the A-Labs were long enough. I think we needed more close racing there. That was brilliant.
A couple more laps there for my liking, I think. But Andreas Katz has impressed me actually as the season's gone on. I think in at the start of the season he was quite aggressive, made a few mistakes, spun himself out of good positions in Silverstone. But ever since then he's been putting together a good portfolio of results, and it's really showing, especially in his championship standing. So he's now going to be potentially ahead of Stefan Hoog now.
Yes, he is a former champion. He won the championship in Series 3 for driving for Elite 220, which was then under the guise of eBay Motors. So Katz knows how to get the job done. He's yet to win a race this season, but surely if this form continues for the rest of the season, he should get that win.
Definitely showing the performance of a former champion. Alex, I'll bring you in, mate, as dual role as also the team principal of Apex Racing UK. What do you make of Tim's performance? I was pretty impressed.
Yeah, good little race from Tim. Chuff for him. He'll be delighted with that. Bit of confidence he needs to push on throughout this series.
Beating some good drivers in that race.
Yeah, I mean, I think the important thing, unlike Virginia, he got his got a good start. He might have lost a place or so off the start, but he was able to settle in and build a rhythm. I think that's Tim's main thing. He was under so much cosh in that VIR race.
Yeah, he was.
But here, yeah, you could see once he gets up to rhythm, he's got the pace, and Jerome was only just about able to get him. I think there.
Just stay with us, Alex, just for a minute or two. Adam. First you and then Alex. What do you make of Stefano Giuriali's performance? I thought it was perfect.
Yes, I was quite surprised. In fact, he actually set the fastest lap of the race as well. So it wasn't luck that he won the race. He did a fantastic job. And I wonder what team is he driving for as a reserve driver? Do we know? Well,
I'm not 100% sure.
There's
We've got him down as
privateer
privateer on screen.
Grid,
so.
Well, he might be attending a few more races then next week at Interlagos and then the future races at Spa, Indianapolis, Silverstone.
I'll be honest, I think some people have been wanting to kick their current driver out and put him in after that performance, because that was brilliant. Really, really good. And that, as you said, fastest lap. Going to have some guys looking over their shoulders, I think.
Yeah, he did the triple. Pole position, fastest lap, race win. Great job by Stefano Giuriali. And shows you don't need to be in a top team with the setup and the pedal settings, all that kind of thing. You can be a privateer, just show up free of charge and race and win a race. So
yeah, I mean, he got a bit of luck with the reverse grid pole, Adam, didn't he? But then he was flawless in the race. He was perfect. And I have a look at the lap times, and very consistent. You see a bit of drop off as the tyres went away, but pretty good stuff from him. Alex, what did you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, you just could not. The performance there just controlled, and I just like I say, I think people are going to want to snap him up as a reserve driver for the rest of this season. So,
or even as a full. I mean, Adam, I'm not familiar with the rules. Are there any rules about getting the main drivers in or out? Is everybody in for the season if they start the season?
No, as we've seen throughout the season, we're allowed to change the drivers as a reserve driver or not, but as long as you've got the 4 drivers, I think that's all fine.
Sorry, Alex, what were you saying there, mate?
No, nothing. No, just the same thing I was about to say as Adam, really, that pretty sure the drivers can come and go. Depends on their availability, so.
A good finish for your Ron Kaiser again today. He showed some. He won race 3 in Silverstone, and he's up on the podium again.
Yeah, I wonder actually if we shouldn't have a quick word with Jeroen.
Jeroen Kaiser, of course, won race 3 at Road America last season, so he knows how to get the job done around here. We'll see if Alex can get Jeroen into the commentary box for a quick word.
He has already. Are you there, Jeroen?
Yeah, I'm here. Gotta correct you, sorry Adam, but I was second in race 3 last season as well.
Yes, I remember you sadly driving into the gravel on the last lap.
Oh,
yeah, and impressive pressure from Simon Field that race.
So Jeroen, you started 34th in race 2, finished 17th, and then you worked your way up and finished on the podium. Can you take us through your evening's work?
Yeah, race 1 was a difficult one. I saw Smolensky and Linus getting together in turn 1, and I tried to avoid it and spun it and got hard into the barriers, and after that it was basically just driving laps and finished dead last.
Trying to get classified in that first race, yeah?
Yeah, just managed to keep it on 1 lap down and get the points, but that's all for the team. For my personal, it didn't really matter anymore because I couldn't drive the car barely. And race 2, a good start, but involved in a start wreck unfortunately with Gordon Wilson. And after that, hard fighting and good passes.
Yeah, I mean, you made up a lot of places. Was that due to some good overtaking, or was that due to other people's mistakes? What did you make of it?
I think I've passed around 10 cars, but yeah, that still leaves 10 to 15 cars which wrecked out in front of me.
Yeah. So what about the final race then? You had a good battle with Tim. Bit of an easier time of it for you in the final race.
Yeah, exactly. Tim is one that's always with us in the Mumble channel, and yeah, I consider him almost as a teammate. So it was really a a battle with careful. You don't want to wreck your teammates, and especially not somebody with whom I practice this much.
When you start in the middle of the pack for a reverse grid race in race 3, does it go through your mind that you might not be able to make it through the first corner without damage, or do you just try and go flat out through the first corner, try and gain as much pace as you can?
No, you're really careful in the first corner. In this case, I saw Jamie coming really fast through the pack, and he made up 3 or 4 places on the front stretch, and I tried to box him in behind his teammate, and that worked. And after that, just careful through turn 1, 2 and 3, and after that it kind of settles out and you can start fighting for positions. That's also when the tires actually come up to temperature. Before that you can't do anything.
Yeah, I think sometimes you get the opening and you can see it and you can go for it, but on a track like this, I think into turn 1, as the track narrows, I think it's very, very difficult to really be aggressive there. I think you have to be considered, and it worked well for you today.
Yeah, nice recovery drive and good points in the end.
What did you think of the bend layout? This is the first time we've used it in the BSRTC Championship. Do you think it improved the racing at all?
I was a big proponent of it. Last season we used the normal circuit, and the King just doesn't suit this car. It suits every other car. I really like the King normally, but in this car it was really rolling the dice. The one time it would get very tight for the other time you would almost spin it around, and you really had to tiptoe it every lap and you didn't know what to expect. So I think this gives another overtaking opportunity, and it makes it a bit more reliable as well.
Yeah, because I think this car's pretty nimble through the slow stuff, and I think it allowed people to get a bit inventive with the overtaking and setting people up down to Canada. So, yeah, it's good. I mean, what do you think of next week's challenges? Where are we next week? Is it Interlagos?
That's always a fun track, and it provides good overtaking opportunities. And yeah, I'm really curious how it will set up. I think last season was one of the best races. So.
Right, you're on. Well, thanks very much for joining us in the commentary box, and great racing today, and we'll look forward to seeing you try and put on a show next week.
Thank you.
So, Jeroen Kaiser there, who's really done a very good last 2 races. I mean, he made up 17 places, as we said, in race 2, and then race 3 up onto the podium. Adam, a good night's work for him, I think, in the end.
Yeah, after starting that far down the grid, you wouldn't expect to be up in second place by the end of race 3, but no, he played his cards right in the reverse grid draw, and he managed to keep his car clean. He may have had 10 incidents, but we'll gloss over that, and he managed to get a podium result at the end, so good job by him.
Very good. I think we should have a word with Tim, Alex. What do you think?
Yeah, I was going to say, Tim, but I was thinking before we do that, we ought to speak to the AM class leader in Ben Gregory.
He's true.
He's
an eventful day.
He's up there at the moment, so let's see if we can drag him down, if he'll have a little word with us.
You see what was going on. All I saw was just this car in mid-air with a Scottish flag.
Hello, Ben. In the commentary box now. we just dragged you in. You're leading the AM class, and can you take us through your evening's work? I know that one of the races didn't end so well for you, but the last one wasn't too bad.
The first one wasn't too bad, yeah. Made up some good places from 28th. Had some great fights and some extremely close racing. Second race was one to forget, definitely. Made some pretty bad mistakes. But yeah, I've never gelled with this track and this car, so to get some decent points out was kind of good.
What's the what do you think the key thing is? What's the thing that you've not been able to get right on at Road America then?
I think it's just holding it on the straights, because so many people, it seemed like people were running less wing than me.
Right.
And were just blowing past, just catching up so much on straights. And I could only hold on to them in the draft. It was good fun though, definitely, to sort of fight around it.
You drive in the Pro-Am Championship. Do you focus on racing with the Pro-Am drivers, or do you try and muscle your way past the Pro drivers as well?
I just try and muscle my way past anywhere I was in front, honestly. It's just, I want to get as many points as I can to hold that lead, but I was quite tentative last season with being so close, and I was a bit annoyed I only came second. But
yeah, I mean, after round 11, you were in the top 10 of the main championship. I mean, what's the key for yourself in terms of building the consistent season? Are you going 100% for every race, or are you thinking about the points, more than you would normally do?
I think now that I did pop into the top 10, I think I was kind of thinking might even want to back off a little bit, but I still want to fight as hard as I can. It's just fun, really.
In a championship like this, though, I think with so many drivers and so many cars fighting over the same piece of tarmac, I think if you back off, you get shut, you get freight trained quite a lot. It's a bit like an oval race in many respects, isn't it, with these Kias?
A little bit. You can sort of like calm down a bit. I know I was having some good fighting with Linus in that last race, who just said that he was backing off a bit just because he was a bit scared of incidents. But he's still able to keep up with me. But I don't know. It's kind of you can do both. I don't know.
I've been trying to get all the drivers' opinion on this. We raced at the Road America Bend circuit for the first time in the championship. What do you think of the Bend layout, and do you think it's more of a challenge than the kink circuit?
I think it's better. You get an extra overtaking spot because the kink is so hard to pass on. Even if you're in a super quick car, it's so hard to pass. So I think the Bend's really good fun.
I think we saw some drivers, making mistakes on the exit of the Bend as well, which I think made it interesting down into Canada. So it wasn't just, people going in could make the move, but you could also make the move on the way out, and I think that provided some good racing. So I think the general consensus is that it's a positive thing for the series. I mean, speaking of circuits, we're going to Interlagos next week. What's your feeling with that one? Obviously, a well-known track from Formula One and several of the series. Do you like it, and how do you think you're going to get on?
I think it was one we did last season. I just loved it to bits. It was great.
I assume because it's a very wide track as well. I mean, Alex, it's one that very well known, and it provides a lot of overtaking opportunities, especially into turn one.
Yeah. I know. It's great fun.
Yeah, I think some of the GT races that we've seen there in recent times as well have been great. So I think actually the Kias will. I think we're going to see some fantastic racing. Hopefully it'll be a little bit like Suzuka again. I think it's quite short track in between those corners. Definitely you can ebb and flow with drivers having the advantage in one corner and then back in the other. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out. And then we've got a big long straight as well to get a bit of draft and that tricky centre S turn one. So it's good overtaking there.
Yeah,
Alex, last season in the BSRTC, we saw Wojciech Savidovic beat Adeko Lopez by 7,000ths of a second, the closest finish in the BSRTC championship. I was just going to ask Ben, do you change the car setup after Road America for Interlagos, or do you think, because they're quite quick tracks, do you just leave the setup as it is?
I think we will change bits of it. It's not this car doesn't have as much you can change, which is kind of unfortunate. But there will be some bits where you probably chop and change just to make it just a little bit better, especially with the weather, because we've got realistic weather now. We've just had to change a little bit each time in the race as well. So
yes, in Ben as well, that you need to find a compromise with the setup in Interlagos, because obviously you have the two really long straights, but also you need the fast corners in the middle sector like Magulho and also up at Ferradura there.
Yeah, it's something we need to definitely balance out. I kind of prefer being a bit quicker through the corners, like I was here. I had a bit higher wing, so I could be a bit quicker through a corner. But just see how it goes. Honestly, with practice, then hopefully the race will go well for us as well. Okay,
Ben. Well, thanks for joining us, mate. I know we surprised you, brought it down into the commentary box. You were actually talking about an incident that happened. One of the Laser Tools cars got launched up into the air. What was your viewpoint of that one?
My viewpoint was the Scottish flag above the bridge.
Well,
that was
it went through you, didn't it?
Yeah, I just sort of tried to pull it aside and it sort of seemed to glitch through me. Something similar happened with a DMR car on the race one. Might just be a little bit of lag, but it was quite...
Did you get away with no damage then? It looked like you were okay from that one.
Yeah, I got away with no damage, but I did get a 4X on it, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Alright, Ben, thanks, mate, for that. Good luck next week, and well done tonight.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.
Well, I've just had a look at the championship standings going into Interlagos, Andrew and Alex, and Wojciech Savidovic has now extended his points lead to 50 points, I think, over Stefan Hug. However, I think it's just getting updated right in front of my face, so I'll wait to see what those points look like. But Savidovic definitely must have extended his lead over Stefan Hug.
I don't think it'll be more than 50 points, Adam. I think 39 for the last race. Hug finished 29, so I think it's going to be a decent amount. But did you say by 50 points?
Yeah, I think it might.
Oh,
yeah.
right. Added 50 points onto his lead, yeah. I mean, that gives him a really good position. And Andreas Katzel now have gone up into second place, so that's going to be a really good fight towards the end of the season as well. You had Ashley Sutton in there. Maybe if Jury Ali turns up again and he does as well as he did, maybe he can be a bit of a spoiler in there. But I'd like us to bring Tim in. Obviously, he's been a mate of ours for a couple of years, and want to see how he got on.
Tim Mawson joins us now in the commentary box. And Tim, it seemed like you were having a great battle between you and Jerome Kaiser in the third race. Was it good to be right up the front of the pack?
Hi boys, it was good, great fun. I don't really like being at the front, to be honest. It's too much pressure. I like the midfield. But no, I wasn't going to press Jerome too much, so as soon as he came up to me, I sort of kind of let him have lots of room.
You had well done, mate. Today, actually, you had an engine failure in race 1, but then it went a lot better for you afterwards.
Yeah, I stepped into first gear by accident, and the engine went hello. But yeah, it's always good fun fighting through the grid race 2, so that's good. But then, yeah, the roll of the dice put me nice towards the front.
So, take us through the start of race 3. Then you lost a position or so, but then you gained it back a bit later on when I think the laser tool car got in a lot of trouble. Well, how different is it at the front to being in the middle of such a big grid?
It's for me, it's useless because I just can't start the car when I'm at the front. When I'm in midfield, I always get a perfect start, but as soon as I get the pressure of being at the front, that's it. I bog down, one gear, mistime it. But I managed to get alongside and sort of fight back for the position.
You had good pace today, actually. Were you surprised as well how fast Stefano was in front?
Yeah, I mean, he's doing quite well in the actual official series, I think, and so it was kind of, I knew he was going to wave goodbye to him. But I've usually got quite a good pace around here. In past seasons I've done quite well, so I knew if I had a clear road, I could get some good laps in, and so it proved.
Next week we head to Interlagos. Would you say it's a similar track to Road America, or do you think you'll be changing the setup for that race?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit different. It's a bit more of a corner-into-corner track, but I still quite like it. It's nice and flowing, and you guys have some good battles.
Alex, have you got anything for Tim before we go?
No, just to say, really, well done, good solid race. We were singing your praises in here, of course. We're not biased or anything.
Never.
I look forward to watching it back.
Yeah, well, thanks, mate. Anyway, for joining us. Really good performance again in the last race. But
thanks.
Like I say, we'll see you next week.
Okay, bye.
Cheers, mate. Awesome there, always happy to chat to us. So, boys, I don't know if you want to bring anyone else in, but I think that's a pretty good race meeting for BSRTV.
Yeah, I don't know whether the racing was just as up there as Suzuka, but it was a fantastic race meeting, and with the likes of Interlagos coming before our 1 week break, I think the championship can only get more exciting.
Interlagos is going to provide some seriously good racing. I know. I mean, Alex, you've raced there a lot. It should be good for these touring cars, shouldn't it?
I think actually the layout of that. I mean, we touched on it earlier on, where the fact, especially that sort of the infield section there with the right, then the left, and the rights again as well. Just after witnessing what we did at Suzuka, I think we're going to see some amazing two-wide action all through that midfield section. So I think it's going to be great.
See some slipstreaming battles going into the Senna S's, can't you, as well? That's going to be it's going to be crazy, boys.
Yeah, that and probably some late moves as well going into turn 3 as well. I think should be some very interesting racing all round, actually.
Second that, Adam, as well.
Yeah, I think we've got the long enough straights at Interlagos to make sure that you can actually get a move done going into the likes of turn 1 and turn 3. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see. The
I
track's-
really hope after selling the hell out of this that it's not a boring meeting.
Yeah, well, we were almost putting Suzuka down a little bit before
We
saying
were.
saying how it's the tight and twisty E circuit, and look at the racing we got there. So I can't wait for next week.
I really can't either, and I just want to thank you boys as well for obviously making the broadcast possible and joining me in the box. And yeah, next week you back next week, Adam, or are you off next week?
No, I'm off next week as well. I'm off to Devon on holiday. So
Oh, there we go. Will you be watching the races though?
of course I'll be seeing you two in a few weeks' time at Spa-Francorchamps.
Oh, there you go. That's a great one to come back to. So, Alex, me and you next weekend, mate.
Yep, should be fun. Back in the box.
All right. Okay, boys, brilliant stuff. Thanks again to everybody watching, either live on the stream or later on YouTube. We do appreciate the views, and you guys are making the series possible. So, BSR TV is going to sign off for the night. From Road America, we've seen 3 great races, 3 great winners. Well, what happened at Interlagos? You're going to have to join us to find out. See you later.